You know that thing you do at 3 in the morning? You're lying there, staring at the ceiling, doing horrible life math in your head. I'm this old. I'll probably work until 65. That's X more years. I make about this much. If I save this percent, will I actually retire or be handing out samples at Costco when I'm 78? While you're spiraling, your phone lights up. The average American retires with $X in savings. Are you on track? Instantly your brain picks a side. Okay, that doesn't sound too bad. I'm probably fine. Or, I'm completely screwed. I'm going to die at my desk. In this video from Wealth Escape Plan, we're going to talk about why both of those reactions are usually wrong. Because that average number they keep throwing at you, it's almost meaningless. Not because the math is fake, but because the way it's used totally distorts reality. It's like saying, the average person has slightly fewer than 2 arms. Technically true. Completely useless for making real decisions. So, instead of dumping another giant target number on you, we're going to pull back the curtain on how retirement actually works for normal people. We'll look at what people really have saved at different ages, why those big averages are basically an illusion, how 401ks, IRAs, HSAs, and Social Security really fit together, why you can look okay on paper and still feel broke, and, most importantly, what you can still do from where you are right now. No magic formula, no scare tactics, just clear numbers and a practical plan. So 3M you can finally calm down a little. In your head, the retirement movie goes like this. You work hard for a few decades. Commutes, emails, pointless meetings. You shovel part of every paycheck into something with a boring name like Target Date 2050. HR said it was for retirement, so you clicked yes and moved on. Then one day around 65, you walk out of the office for the last time. No more alarm clocks, no more bosses. Now it's beaches, travel, golf, weekday lunches, grandkids games, and sunsets that look like a stock photo. That's the fantasy the financial industry sells you. They tell you, plan to replace 70 to 80% of your income. You go to a calculator, type in your age and salary, and it spits out. To retire comfortably, you'll need $1.8 million. You open your actual account, a few $1,000s and maybe a random gift card. Suddenly it feels like you've failed a secret adult exam. Here's what no one explains. Those huge target numbers are based on a perfect, imaginary life. They quietly assume you started saving in your early 20s. You never stopped. You never got laid off, divorced, or sick. No huge medical bills or family emergencies. Your investments grew in a smooth straight line. They're not evil. They're just theoretical. You are not theoretical. You have rent or a mortgage, student loans, kids, car repairs, and months where I made it to payday is the whole plan. So when you see you need $1.8 million and compare it to your real balance, of course it feels hopeless. You haven't blown it. You've just been comparing yourself to the wrong thing. To see how far the public numbers are from reality, we need one boring idea that changes everything: mean versus median. Most headlines say, the average American has $X in retirement savings. They almost always mean the mean. Add up all the balances, divide by the number of people. That works fine for height. There aren't 10 people walking around who are 80 feet tall. Money is different. Wealth in the US is a hockey stick. A long flat part where most people are, and then a sharp spike where the ultra-rich live. Imagine 10 people in a room. 9 of them have $10,000 saved. One person has $10 million. Total, $10,090,000. Divide by 10, average equals $1,009,000 per person. You could honestly say, the average retirement balance in this room is just over $1 million. Does that represent any of the 9 normal people? Not even close. That's what happens with national averages. A small group with huge balances drags the number up and creates the fake feelings. People with modest savings feel like total failures. People with okay savings feel falsely safe. Neither reaction is based on what a typical person actually has. For that, you need the median, a middle person. Line everyone up from smallest account to largest. Pick the one in the middle. Half have more, half have less. The ultra-rich at the top can't distort that number. It shows you what normal really looks like. And when you switch from averages to medians, the story gets less flattering, but much more useful. Let's walk through the rough median retirement savings at different ages. Not perfect stats, just the pattern. In your 20s, the median retirement balance is basically zero. That actually makes sense. You're just starting out. Low pay, high rent, maybe student loans and a car payment. For many people, paying bills on time is the whole win. If you're in your 20s and you have anything in a 401k or IRA, even a few thousand, you are not behind. You're already ahead of most of your age group. The real win is starting and building the habit. In your 30s, the median is in the low tens of thousands, maybe $10 to $5K. That sounds tiny next to you'll need over $1 million, but 30-somethings are usually juggling. Trying to buy a home, childcare that costs like a second rent, replacing dying cars, leftover student loans. If you're 35 with $20 30K saved, are you set? No. Are you uniquely irresponsible? Also no. You're roughly around the middle. In your 40s it starts to feel very real. This is often your high-earning decade, but expenses are heavy: teenagers, college on the horizon, mortgage, aging parents. Medians here might be around $50 to $80K. Not enough to retire on, but a meaningful base. Many people log in, see that number and think, I've been working 20 years. That's it. The good news, if you're in your 40s, you may still have 20 working years left. Compound growth can still do serious work if you give it something to grow. Jump to your early 60s, right before traditional retirement. The median retirement balance here is only in the low hundreds of thousands, maybe $130, $160K. Let's be blunt, by itself, that's not enough to comfortably fund 20 to 30 years of not working. Take $150,000. A commonly quoted safe withdrawal rate is about 4% per year. That's $6,000 a year, or $500 a month. That's not paying for a travel-heavy, stress-free retirement. So how do most people actually live? They stitch it together. Social Security, maybe working longer, maybe part-time work, maybe tapping home equity. That clean fantasy where everyone hits 65 with $1 million+ portfolio and just lives off the interest. That's a minority. One big reason, the whole retirement system changed. Your grandparents might have had pensions work 20 to 40 years, retire, and the company pays you a check every month for life. You didn't pick investments. You didn't care what the stock market did. The employer took the risk. Then companies realized pensions are expensive and risky for them. So we shifted to defined contribution plans like 401ks. Now the deal is, we'll give you an account. You put money in, maybe we'll match some. You pick investments. Good luck. Before, your employer ran the pension. Now you run the pension, with no training and a busy life. So undersaving isn't some personal moral failure. It's the predictable result of dumping the risk and responsibility on individuals without giving them a simple playbook. Let's talk about that playbook. First, the 401k. If your employer offers one, you can send part of each paycheck straight into it, usually before taxes. Often they'll match some of what you contribute. Example, 50% match up to 6% of your salary. If you make $60,000, 6% of your pay is $3,600. You put in $3,600. They add $1,800. That's free money. If you're not contributing at least enough to get the full match, you're turning down part of your own paycheck. So step 1 for most people, get the full match. You'll see reports saying the average 401k balance is in the low 6 figures. Sounds good until you remember averages are dragged up by a minority of huge accounts. The median 401k is often just a few tens of thousands of dollars. That's the real picture. A lot of people with access to a 401k don't contribute at all. No contribution means no match, no tax break, no compounding. Second, IRAs, individual retirement accounts. These you open yourself at a brokerage. Traditional IRA, possible tax break now, pay tax later in retirement. Roth IRA, no break now, but money can grow and come out tax-free later. For many younger or mid-income workers, a Roth IRA is one of the best deals in the system. Pay tax on the seed, not the full-grown tree. But only a minority of households use IRAs, and most of them don't come close to maxing them out. The tools exist, they're just underused, and the rules feel intimidating, so people procrastinate. Next, the HSA Health Savings Account. If you're on a high-deductible health plan, you might qualify. HSAs are special because they're triple tax advantaged. No tax on money going in. No tax on growth. No tax when used for qualified medical expenses. After 65, you can even use HSA money for non-medical expenses. You just pay normal income tax, like a traditional IRA. Healthcare is a huge retirement cost, so an HSA can act like a stealth retirement account. Put money in now, invest it, and use it later for Medicare premiums, prescriptions, and medical bills. Most people, though, treat HSAs like pass-throughs. Put money in, spend it the same year. That's okay, but it misses the long-term power. Now layer on Social Security. It was designed as one leg of a three-legged stool. Pensions, personal savings, Social Security. Pensions are mostly gone, savings are shaky. So everyone leans hard on the last leg. The average retired worker gets somewhere in the low $20,000 per year, around $1,800 a month. Some get more, some less. Could you live where you live now on about $22,000 a year? In many places, that's extremely tight. You've probably heard Social Security will be bankrupt. More accurately, without changes, in the 2030s the trust fund may run out, and current taxes might cover only 75 to 80% of promised benefits. Politicians will likely tweak something, but your safest mindset: assume it will exist. Assume it's a piece, not your whole plan. If your entire strategy is Social Security will handle it, that's not a retirement plan. That's barely getting by with extra paperwork. Now a quick word on net worth. You'll see, the average new retiree has close to $1 million in net worth. Sounds like everyone's a millionaire. But net worth is just what you own, what you owe. It doesn't tell you how much you can actually spend. You can be house rich and cash poor. A big net worth number can hide the reality that your monthly cash flow is tight, and your retirement accounts are smaller than the headline suggests. So where does all this leave you? Most people have less saved than the rules of thumb say. Pensions are mostly gone. Social Security is a safety net, not a full lifestyle. Net worth stats are inflated by home values and a few very rich households. Debt is following many people into their 60s and 70s. It's not a pretty story, but at least it's honest. And once you see the real game, you can actually play it. What to do depends on your age, but the principles are the same. If you're in your 20s, your superpower is time. Start small, automate, and learn basics. Get your 401k match if you have one. Open a Roth IRA with any amount you can automate monthly. Avoid letting your lifestyle rise as fast as your income. If you're in your 30s, life is expensive, so focus on direction, not perfection. Aim to slowly raise your total savings rate toward 10 to 15% over a few years. Kill high-interest debt, it's a guaranteed negative return. If you're in your 40s and 50s, get brutally honest, list income, expenses, debts, and all accounts. Try to push your savings rate into the mid-teens or higher. Take advantage of catch-up contributions. Think about housing and whether downsizing later could help. Consider working part-time instead of a hard stop at 65. Across all ages, the key mindset shift is this. Stop comparing yourself to fantasy couples on the beach. Compare yourself to your past self. Do I understand my money better than last year? Am I saving a little more and owing a little less? Your real goal isn't a magic number. It's to buy options, to work because you want to, not because you must. To turn this video into an actual turning point, do these today. 1. Log in and write down your real numbers: total retirement savings, total debt, rough monthly spending. No judgment and just data. 2. If you're missing any employer match, fix that before your next paycheck. 3. Set up one new automatic move. Increase your 401k by 1%, or start a Roth IRA or HSA with any amount. 4. Put a reminder 6 months from now, increase retirement savings by 1%. When it pops up, actually do it. It won't give you a perfect Instagram-worthy retirement, but it will move you towards something better: control, stability, and choice. So the future 3M version of you isn't panicking about survival. They're just deciding which trip to book next, knowing the bills are covered. If this helped you see retirement more clearly, not the fantasy, but the real math, you're watching Wealth Escape Plan. Before you click away, make one small change today that moves you even 1% closer to the life you want in your 60s and 70s.